How are they getting this done with so many planes still on the ground?
I mean, I think their forecast for the first quarter is not great. I mean, that is a seasonally weak period for airlines, and it's been one that's particularly difficult for them to navigate in this post-pandemic period where you do not have that business traveler coming back in the way that they have historically. So they're looking for sort of a sharp turnaround in the second part of the year, and I think a lot of that is international travel and the sort of continued trend of travelers gravitating toward more premium options. The legacy carriers like United have really benefited in this market, whereas the low-cost carriers have struggled.
If they cannot get their MAX 9 jets back online, if they can't remedy some of these issues that they've complained about or Scott Kirby reportedly has, does that materially affect their outlook? Does that really hit their stock yet again, given that they had such uncertainty baked into their forecast?
I think you're going to see higher maintenance expenses. I mean, that's the knock-on effect for some of these airlines. Delta, when it reported earnings earlier this month, was talking about $350 million of extra maintenance expenses this year, just relative to last year, which was by no means cheap as far as aircraft maintenance. And it's not just the MAX 9. Remember, you also have RTX, which is doing a very costly recall of its GTF jet engine that powers the Airbus A320 jets. So you're talking about significant chunks of the aviation fleet potentially being grounded over the course of 2024. What that means for the airlines is that they have to keep flying older planes for longer, or they have to use bigger airplanes for markets that don't necessarily need that many seats. That all has a cost to it.
Brooke, just want to finish where we started, which is on Boeing and United. On Boeing specifically, how do you expect this to end? From the people you speak to, what's the base case right now?
I think you have to look at management, and I think you have to wonder how much longer you can keep the current management in place, just given the series of crises that Boeing has dealt with, big and small. Of course, you know, from the grounding of the MAX to then just having sort of quality control issues come up before this latest one involving the door plugs. There was improperly drilled fastener holes. There was incorrectly installed rear fittings on the MAX. And I think you have to wonder if maybe it's time for a deeper-rooted cultural change. We were talking about GE. That is a company that has really gone top to bottom and sort of reworking the way that that business is run. And I think you need a similar change at Boeing, and that might have to come from somebody with more outside perspective.